Hello there, and welcome to this interview with Igor Kheifet. My name is Phil Ainsworth, and I'm very, very excited to be joined today by a rising star in the internet marketing field. You're going to hear his name a lot more as the next few months and years go by. I'm really impressed by the way this guy markets, and I'm impressed by a lot of the way he does things. I'm impressed by the way he treats his affiliates and the way he encourages and inspires and motivates his affiliates to promote for him. I'm encouraged by his overall sense of fun and humor and attitude about marketing, and just the way he does stuff is absolutely brilliant. I really appreciate it and admire it. So that's why I've got him in the call today. I'm going to try and pick his brains full of loads of secrets to share with you. I'm going to try and get as much information out of him and have some fun as well. So I'd really like to welcome you to the call today, Igor. How you doing, fella? You okay there?
Yeah, I'm awesome, especially after that juicy introduction. I give all the golden nuggets I have.
Absolutely. I'm going to put you through the Inquisition interrogation, mate. Get you to spill all your secrets for all the people listening. So first of all, not everyone listening will have heard of you. I mean, we can both appreciate that. So just so they can understand a bit more about you, would you like to tell them your story and tell them how you got started in internet marketing and kind of a little bit about yourself and how far you've come?
Sure, why not? I started out actually not in internet marketing, but in MLM, and I've met this woman from Australia. I was looking for information how to make money online, and I found her, I don't know how you call it, information page or something, on the network about the law of attraction. And so she had a video of a guy named Bob Proctor. I don't know if you heard of him. He's like a big law of attraction teacher all over the world.
Yeah, I think he's in the film The Secret, I think, Bob Proctor, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But he's also a marketer. I mean, a really good one. He has tons of information products and everything. And so he had this video about 10% of people having 90% of all the money in the world. And it got me so, thinking that why not try? Why not make money online? So I contacted this woman on Skype, and she gave me a few ebooks, to read and video courses to watch. For about 8 months, I have had no results whatsoever. I mean, it was a struggle. I had to fight with my family. I refused to go to work, believing that internet marketing is the way to go. I mean, I had tons of fights with my dad, with my mom. I was living with my parents at the time. I mean, it was a tough period. But later, I was introduced to list building, and eventually I figured out a few ways to monetize this my list with email marketing. And although I had a pretty small list at the time, it took me a lot of time to build it up. I was still able to make some money, and it gave me hope. Now, about a year ago, maybe less, I can honestly say this, I finally cracked the code to making money with email marketing. Now, and surprisingly, it turned out to be easier than I thought. And so today, I can afford to sit around my computer, play video games, send a few emails a day, and bam, I'm making a couple $100 per day, which for a guy who lives in Israel is an awesome salary. I mean, my friends are currently making 4 times, if not 5 times less than I do, working their asses off. Even on a high-end facility such as Intel or whatever. I mean, the ones that deal with electronics and sell their technology all over the world.
Sure, yeah. The guys that have what they call proper jobs, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they have company cars, they get bonuses and stuff, and so they're very, very proud of their incomes. And I can just top that with a few emails per day, which is amazing. I mean, really.
Yeah.
And so that's exactly what I'm going to try and teach you this interview, hopefully, if Phil is going to ask me the right questions, of course.
Do you know what? That's a popular saying. I can't think who said it, but the solution to life is asking the right questions, or something like
Yeah.
that. But I can't think where I've heard that from. But it is all about asking the right questions. So I'm going to make sure that I ask you the right questions. Okay. So thank you for sharing that information with us. So I mean, for anyone listening, it's really good to hear that. To hear that. Oh, sorry. It wasn't good to hear that you struggled for so long, but maybe people listening themselves who have maybe been struggling for quite some time to make their first sale online, or maybe they've even made their first few sales and they haven't reached the level of income where they can quit their jobs and go full time. Um, you can hear there that it took Igor a while. It certainly took me a long time myself. So just take a bit of heart from that and just keep going, because in the early days you just have to keep yourself motivated and keep yourself going.
Exactly. That's the hardest part by far. I mean, you gotta find sources of motivation for yourself, whether it's going to be your kids, if you have kids, your wife, someone you're trying to make it work for, not only yourself, but rather, think of what you're going to do once you get there, the kind of freedom you're going to provide for your family, for yourself. Also, I found one exercise that's really helpful. Every day before you go to work on your business, reread your goals, okay, your financial goals. So sit down, take 5 minutes of your time in your bedroom, lock the doors, lock the windows, and just think that you're making the kind of money you'd like to make right now. So, for example, if your goal is 6 figures per year, let's say $1,000 per year, just sit relaxed and imagine that right now, today, you're making $100,000 per year. And so what kind of lifestyle um, can you have, can you enjoy when you're making this kind of money? And I promise you, after just a few minutes of doing this exercise, if you go to work still thinking about that major lifestyle change you're going to experience, you're going to be much more motivated and things will just flow easier. It's going to be silky smooth for you.
That's a great piece of advice there, and thank you for sharing that, Igor. That's a fantastic piece of advice, to write out your own goals, to be 100% clear on what your personal goals are, whatever they may be for yourself, and not just financial ones as well. That can include personal goals, to spend more time with your family or whatever. But whatever goals you have, write them out. Review them every single day, so you're clear in your mind why you're doing this and what you've got at stake. What it would cost you if you didn't achieve your goals. And for anyone listening right now that's thinking, oh, I don't go for that psychological rubbish. I don't go for that wishy-washy tell yourself and you'll believe it and you'll achieve it kind of mumbo jumbo. Anyone listening that's thinking that, and who is more into kind of hard science and that, let me tell you about a study. I don't know the exact details, but there was a study taken at Harvard University, and they interviewed all the students that went into Harvard University for 1 year, and they questioned them and said, who out of you has written down goals that they review every single day? And I think it was about 5 or 6% of the year's Harvard students, the intake for that year of all the students that were starting at Harvard University, about 5 or 6% had written out goals that they reviewed every day. Anyway, 5 years later, the people that studied that were doing this experiment, they went back to the year group 5 years later, and they asked people, what's your annual earnings? How much money do you make, and what's your current wealth? And I don't remember the exact figure, but it was something like 95% of the total wealth of the whole group, of the whole 1,000 students that had been to Harvard 5 years before. 95% of the wealth was being shared by the 5 or 6% that had the goals for the 5 years and I'd said that 5 years before. Yes, I write out my goals. I look at them every day. 95% of all the
Wow.
wealth by the group was by those guys. And I don't know the exact details of the study. My friend Dan, who's another marketer, told me about this study. And there's some proof right there. For anyone listening that's thinking, oh yeah, that kind of psychological believe and you will achieve kind of mentality, I don't believe in it. Well, there's a hard scientific study for you right there. It definitely works. Writing out goals, it just forces yourself, and then when you read them every day, it just hammers it into your brain again and again and again. So it almost becomes impossible to fail.
I mean, you can look at it as if it's a GPS kind of thingy, that you use in your car.
Oh yeah, yeah.
How the hell can you expect to get somewhere if you have no clue where you're going? I mean, just common sense, has nothing to do with the secret or whatever. Just common sense.
It's like a sat nav for your brain. I like that. Okay, so let's help people out a bit here. So if somebody's just starting in the IM world, Igor, they don't know what they're doing and they haven't got a clue. They've heard so many things. They've heard all these acronyms, SEO and PPC and article marketing and affiliate marketing and all these different ways of making money. MLM, they've heard of that as well. What's the easiest and quickest way for someone to get started in the IM world so they can start seeing some results and build from that? What should they do first?
If you were to ask me this question about a couple of months ago, I'd probably tell you affiliate marketing
Right, okay.
without any shadow of a doubt. However, today, I must say that the first thing you gotta do is create your own product, whether free or paid. I don't care. You have to have your own product for a few reasons. First, you can sell it and keep 100% of the profits. That's a no-brainer. Second, it gives you credibility, authority, but most importantly, it gives you leverage, which you can use to score joint ventures, get other people promoting for you, doing all the traffic generation for you, while you get to keep the customers and build your business. Now again, it's also goes back to email marketing and list building. Why? Because you cannot build a list without having something to give away or sell. The easiest way to find a product, if you don't know what you're doing right now, there are a few. One, you can go and hire someone to do it for you. Two, if you have a mentor or someone who's looking over your work, you can speak to this person and ask to create this product for you or to help you do the research and just write it up yourself or shoot the video yourself. Now, if you really have no idea what you're doing right now, then look up term PLR and MRR, which means private label rights and master resale rights. Now, these are products, ready-made products that you can use and resell as your own products. Now, you can find them ready-made products with done sales pages, with done squeeze pages, with done articles, etc., for as low as $10 to $20. I mean, you can really get a whole business in a box for as little as $10 to $20 and start using it. All you have to do next is to just get a domain name and hosting account and upload this to your site and start driving traffic to it. I mean, it does not get any simpler and easier and quicker than that.
Absolutely. And for anyone listening who is thinking right now, oh, that sounds all very well, but I'm not technical. I don't know how to get a domain. I don't know how to get hosting. We'll come back to it in a minute, but I think Igor was saying to me before we started recording the call, he was saying that he had actually a little free gift for everyone listening that would just take care of that problem. So we'll come back to it, but I think I'm right in saying, Igor, that anyone that doesn't know how to build a product or doesn't know how to set up a squeeze page to give the product away or hosting a domain, you've got that covered for them.
Do not let this worry you right now. Just focus on listening to this interview because you might miss some golden tips.
Exactly. Basically, between me and Igor, we've got you covered. So don't worry about technical know-how. I tell you what, I am not a programmer. I'm not a coder. I'm terrible with computers, but I've been able to do it just by following what other people have taught me. And we've got you covered. So don't worry about that. I just wanted to quickly add in as well, Igor, another method of product creation that I love. And this is a bit like the moment in The Wizard of Oz when they pull back the curtain and they find that the wizard is just a little old man speaking into a microphone. I'm going to pull back the curtain now and reveal that one of my, in fact, it's not one of my, it's my absolute favorite method of product creation is by finding someone that I know knows their stuff and I know can talk about internet marketing and has got some really good information to share. And I ask them for an interview, a bit like what we're doing right now. I'll pick their brains with some questions and try and have fun in the interview and try and keep it really friendly and have a bit of a joke, make it entertaining for people. And that then becomes a product. And as you're watching this right now, I've just put together a few slides in PowerPoint detailing the call so that there are some visual something visual to go along with the audio for people to look at. And boom, there's another product. So anyone listening that's thinking, oh, I don't know what I can do. Even if you don't have anything to teach yourself, you can interview someone else and let that become a product. So there's another idea for people there.
Exactly. You do not have to be the expert. I mean, lots of people who approach me, for example, for mentoring, they say, well, I'm just starting out. I have no idea what to create a product on. I mean, I haven't made any money. I do not have any proof that my methods work, and I don't have any methods that I actually use. And so you do not have to be the expert. You can get an expert. You can pick his brain, whether it's an interview. I know a guy who actually got a cameraman, got to a house where the big guru lives, and he interviewed him, live in front of camera. Not just an interview, which was really, really, really nice product. So really, do not have to be the expert. If you think that you need to be the super duper guru to sell your own products, you're not. Okay, just get that out of your mind.
Perfect. Sounds like Anthony Tilley's interview with Alex Jeffries. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah.
That's a great interview, yeah. Okay, brilliant. So you mentioned a couple of minutes back about creating, for people listening right now, they create their own product, which they can then use as leverage. They can either give it away for free or they can sell it. Okay. Now, obviously, if they give it away for free, they're going to create a list of prospects. And if they sell it, they're going to create a list of buyers. Now, I know that you wanted to tell people about the important differences between having a list of prospects and having a list of buyers, or of course having both. But why is it so important for people listening right now? Why is it so important that they distinguish between prospects and buyers?
Thanks for reminding me. But to explain this a little bit, further, I need to go a step back. When you build a list, the first thing you do is you bribe someone to join your list, and so you give them something for free, whether an ebook or a video or an audio or something, or a software maybe. They join your list for free, and you give them the freebie that you promised. Now the next step is to hopefully turn this prospect who was looking for free stuff, which in the industry we like to call them freebie seekers, right? To turn this guy or gal into a buyer, meaning that you want to get them to hopefully buy one or maybe more of your products, and that's not just to make money right away, but to actually build another list of buyers. Now, a list of buyers, it's been told, and I've experienced this, on my own neck, is 10 times more profitable than a list of freebie seekers. Now, what does it? It means that, for example, if you have 1,000 freebie seekers list and only 100 buyer lists, you can make more money with your 100 buyers than you can ever make with 1,000 freebie seekers. It happens because these people have already proved they can buy stuff. They can afford it. They want to learn. I mean, they are not afraid of being scammed or whatever. They don't have any wicked, thoughts about sharing their credit card information online, etc. And so you can actually make tons more money, as I've said, approximately 10 times more money from these lists than from a freebie seeker list. And another very, very important reason is because later in this interview, we're going to share a traffic generation strategy that's completely, I mean, it's so controversial, I don't even know how to call it, but you will need your freebie seeker list for that traffic generation method, while you will be, keeping your buyer list close to your chest, and you won't be just, exploiting them or whatever, whatever you want to call it. I don't want you to think that we're here to exploit someone. No, not at all. I mean, in terms of traffic generation, which is also a big, big problem for lots of beginners, especially the ones who are on a shoestring budget. I mean, this is really important. So stay tuned.
Excellent. Well, we all love a bit of controversy, so I'm sure everyone's looking forward to hearing that, so we'll definitely come back to that. It's interesting that you just mentioned about traffic being one of the key problems that newbies have. I'll just sidestep for 2 seconds, but I have a belief that most people, like 99% of people, especially newbies, they believe that their one problem is traffic. And they believe that if they had more traffic, they'd make a lot more money. But I would say that traffic isn't the problem for most newbies. The biggest problem is either they don't have their own product to sell, or they don't have a product that converts very well. And I mean, it's great, you could have all the traffic in the world, but if you haven't got your own product to sell, and if it doesn't convert, then that traffic's not going to bring you any money. So that's just something that I think in terms of if you're listening to this call, I guess what I mean is if you're listening to this call right now thinking, yeah, I just need traffic, just challenge yourself and think, well, actually, have I got a product that I can sell, as Igor has suggested I do? And secondly, does it convert if I have? So that's just a bit of a thought there. So anyway, sorry to get sidetracked there, just something I wanted to add. So now you've explained to us the importance of having this prospects list separated from the buyers one, because a buyers list is 10 times more powerful. How can everyone listening right now, how can they separate the two lists and maybe make themselves some money while they're doing that?
Well, here's how. Here's what you do. Basically, when someone joins your list, you have them opt in into a special opt-in form, which you get from Aweber or GetResponse or whatever the autoresponder service that you're using right now. Now, after they've opted into your list, into your free list, right, you give them the freebie, and immediately you offer them to purchase your paid product. Now, you might be wondering, how can you do that if they just got your stuff for free? Now, here's something most people don't get and pretty much are afraid of. You need to get your product that you're going to be selling, right? Whether it's an ebook or a video or whatever. You need to take the best, I mean the greatest tip of all that you're giving away in that paid product for money, and give it away for free. One, that will get them to join your list, and two, that will build the most important factor or maybe ingredient in your whole marketing system. That is trust. Because on the internet, trust is a problem. And so by giving away your best tip for free to these guys, you immediately generate trust with them. And now it's the perfect time to tell them, well, if you like this, if you like my free stuff, I highly recommend checking out my course, my system, my complete guide, my step-by-step blueprint to XYZ. And you send them to the sales page, to the paid product. Now, hopefully, they will buy. if your if your sales page converts and you have a nice e-cover and whatever. Now, when they buy immediately after they pay, you don't send them to the download page like it used to do a few years back. It was tradition. Just they buy, you send them to the download page, no questions. Now you send them to a special opt-in page, which is buyers only opt-in page. And so you make them opt-in once again. Of course, you can offer, and you should offer, a few unadvertised free bonuses in exchange for this opt-in. And you get them on a special buyer list just to separate these folks from your regular opt-ins. Now, this is just a special neat trick that will help you identify, or rather help you help those people to identify themselves as buyers and build that buyer list up while selling your products. Now, you can't do that if you have an affiliate product, and that's why I kind of made an emphasis at the beginning of this interview that you need your own product to build up that buyer list, because that is going to be probably the most profitable of all asset to your business. Whether 1 month from now, or 1 year, or 10 years, that's going to be the thing that makes you the most money.
Absolutely, I agree with you 100%, Igor. I mean, I want to touch on a couple of things you said there, actually. So, you mentioned that the best way to be able to sell your product was to take the very best information that you had and put that into your freebie, so that people could tell by the freebie just how good the information that you have is. Now, I know that I'm going to guess that a few people listening right now, maybe a lot of people listening right now, are going to be thinking, but that doesn't make sense. If I give away my best information for free, nobody's going to buy the product, right? I know that's what a few people are going to be thinking, and that's what I used to think as well, until a friend of mine explained it to me. And I'll just quickly explain so people can understand if they're thinking, but that's crazy. If you give away your best stuff for free, no one's going to buy the other stuff, right? If you're thinking that, think of a big music act like Katy Perry, or now Lady Gaga. She's probably the most famous pop star in the world. Lady Gaga, okay? Now, when Lady Gaga releases a new album, do you think she releases the worst song on the album, or does she release the best song on the album as the first single from the album, right? She releases the best song. She's got a new album coming out. She'll release the very best song on the album, so that when it comes out, people will hear the song and go, "Oh, that's brilliant! I love this song. I want to buy the whole album and not just the song." Okay? And when they buy the album, they don't think, "Oh, the rest of the album is no good." They're just pleased that they've got the album, they've got everything. So if you think about it like that, if you think of it in terms of music, when a band or an artist releases a single, they pick the best singles off the album as a promotional tool to get people to buy the rest of the product, which is the rest of the album. And that's exactly what Igor's talked about. They've talked about stripping out the very best golden nuggets of information from your product, putting that into the giveaway just to impress people. Then they go, "Wow, this is the free stuff," because this is what people think. They think, "Wow, if this is Igor's free stuff, the rest of the stuff must be brilliant." Okay? And it's not like you're ripping people off, because all you do is you just make sure that the rest of the information is good as well. Okay? You've put your best information in the product, but when they go ahead and buy the rest of the information, just make sure that's good as well. Okay? Then people won't be disappointed. So that's just another way of looking at it. For anyone listening that's thinking, "Well, that's a bit strange, I don't understand about giving, why would I give away the best stuff?" That's just a good way of looking at it. And the other thing that I wanted to say as well is, you said there that a few months ago you would have said to people the best way to get started in IM is affiliate marketing, and now you're saying create your own product and then do affiliate marketing as well. Well, the brilliant thing about having your own product on your thank you page is what Igor's talking about here, is selling your own product on your thank you page. Once people get your free product, they then get taken to thank you page, and that's where you offer this product. And as Igor's explained, well, if you've got your own product on this thank you page, you get to keep 100% of the commissions. If it was someone else's product that you were promoting as an affiliate marketer, you'd only be keeping 50% of the commissions. So you're making double the money, and it's even better than that because you're establishing yourself in the eyes of the person as a trusted figure of authority. So if you were promoting someone else's product on the thank you page, you'd only be getting 50% of the commissions, and you wouldn't be doing anything for your reputation anyway, because you'd be building the other person's reputation. Because it's your product, branded with your branding, with your name on it, helping people, teaching people what they want to learn. You're building brand awareness. You're building yourself as a trusted figure of authority and a respected figure with your prospects and with your buyers. And of course, you're getting double the money because you're promoting it to your own list for 100% of the money. So I just wanted to add that as well in case people hadn't realized that aspect to it as well. But yeah, and then of course you can then, as you say, Igor, you can then promote. You can be an affiliate marketer as well. You can just then continue to promote other people's products to your buyers list. Now you've identified them as buyers. Would you agree that's a bit more to it maybe people hadn't realized, Igor?
Yeah, and I mean you don't limit yourself to selling one product of your own and then promoting affiliate products for the rest of your life. You can then promote your other products to your buyers. I mean, because these people have already tasted your stuff. I mean, it's going to be 10 times as easier to sell them on another one, on another product that you release in the upcoming future, than it would be to a complete and total stranger who has either have not heard of you at all, I mean, or have joined your list but never bought for this or that reason, whatever. I mean, buyer, I mean, you need to treat them special. I mean, it's the VIP of your list. It's, like if you were an owner of a restaurant, you probably have a few guys who are VIP. If they come in, you close all the doors, you shut the windows, you turn on some nice music, get the strippers out, make sure they have a good time. Now, these are the buyers, okay? I just want to emphasize the point in order for our listeners to get this, because this is really, really, really important that they understand what I'm talking about.
Brilliant. And just in case anyone listening is thinking, well, what do you mean by treat them right? I guess you're saying there, Igor, is make sure you send them emails that contain a lot of free information, regular contact from yourself about extra things they can do with that, just like little nuggets of information from yourself, and obviously treat them really well. Like make sure that you're not spamming them with loads of emails or just one offer after another. It needs to be I guess you're saying that it needs to be a mix between sales offers and free content for your buyers list. Is that what you're saying?
Kinda, yeah. You should send free gifts, preferably, not opt-in gifts. For example, if you wanna do something special for them, buy an ebook or a video course and just give it away for free without having them to opt in to get it. Just send them directly to the download page. Just as simple as that. Also, when I say you need to treat them right, you need to make sure every offer you promote to them is 100% solid, is 100% pure, top-notch content, that the support of the vendor that you're promoting is also very quick and very helpful, because that's a tough issue in our industry, where a lot of people just sell the product and they never support their customers. They don't treat them right, and so that leaves a mark on every single purchase they make. Okay. Also, as you mentioned, Phil, you must not spam them with daily offers, etc. I mean, keep it at least a couple of days between your promotions, because you don't want to get them too angry with you, to thinking, wait, I just bought this product, now he says buy this, and tomorrow he's going to send me another one. What the hell? I'm
Yeah.
on this guy's list. He's an a-hole. So yeah, treat him right, treat him nice, give him bonuses. Yeah, another great tip. Whenever you promote an affiliate product to your buyers, you should offer bonuses as an extra incentive or as a gesture saying you're a valid customer of mine and I want to swing the deal even more for you. So buy this $17 product and I'm going to give you $97 value bonus, which is a product that has not been released yet that I'm just working on right now or putting finishing touches on, etc. So the point is to make them feel very special, like the bride on a wedding.
Perfect. And so for anyone listening right now, that's just to give them a rule of thumb, Igor, would you say that you would only do one offer a week, or maybe two offers a week, and then intersperse those emails so that they get free gifts and genuine free gifts, not ones that have to opt in, and free
Um,
information in the middle? Or was it just a rule of thumb?
if I were to strip down to a formula, I'd say in a 7 days period, I'd send out three promotions with paid products, whether it's my product or someone else's. I'd send a couple of personal emails sharing whatever is going on in my life because that will probably straighten up the connection between you and your customer. I mean, sharing personal stuff. I mean, if something's happening to you right now, and you just send an email saying I'm kind of, I feel bad right now because I'm going through a rough patch in my life, etc. I bet you'll start getting some emails saying, well, don't worry, we're here for you. If you need help, just let me know. And these are customers who paid you money. I mean, you should treat them like friends. I mean, for example, I used to go to the hospital a lot because of my really old grandma. She was 98 at the time, and so I had to visit the hospital 3 times in 2 months. And every time I was in the hospital, I sent out this email saying, I'm sorry I won't be able to send you any good stuff today because I'm at the hospital again with my grandma. She had another heart attack, and etc. etc. Um, and I started getting tons of emails from people saying, "Well, don't you worry. My grandma suffered from a massive heart attack too. She recovered really well. The doctors know what they're doing, etc." People sending me prayers. I mean, I had a person send me a gift card, in the real mail, the snail mail, saying best wishes to your grandma. Say that people all over the world are praying for her, etc. And this has really, inevitably boosted my sales because now whenever I say something, these guys listen. They see that I'm transparent with them, and so they buy from my links, from my affiliate links. They buy my products. They respect my word. They listen to my recommendations, etc. So yeah, I'd say 3 promotions per week, a couple of personal emails, and on weekends you can even give them a nice little freebie.
Oh, that's a nice little formula there. So a freebie at the weekends, a couple of personal emails, and then 2 or 3 offers through the week. I'm just really, really glad that you talked about telling people a bit about yourself and doing what you call the personal kind of emails. I'm really glad you mentioned that because those kind of emails, the what I call relationship building emails, that's the ones where your subscribers, they're going to get to know you. And it's one of the biggest battles, and you mentioned it about 10 minutes ago, one of the biggest battles we have as internet marketers is trust. Because selling over the internet is not face to face. When people stumble upon a sales page, there's no face for them to see. There's no one they can talk to find out that it's a real person. And they've got all these fears and worries that they might be giving their money to someone they don't know or a scam or whatever. They worry about this. And those emails where you just share a little bit about your own life, a little bit about what's going on, just just makes people see you as a real person. And also, just on the plus side as well, you've mentioned it helps your sales, but it just makes your job a bit nicer. I mean, when you get those emails from your subscribers saying, "Oh, we're really thinking of you. You're in our thoughts. You're in our prayers." I mean, when you got that greetings card through the post, I mean, that must have
Yeah, it
really
feels
made your
really
day.
good. Yeah, I mean, I did not expect, I did not plan this to happen, but when I noticed that I'm starting getting this kind of feedback, I mean, I immediately started taking measures and treating my list as well as it deserves to be treated. I mean, even my freebie seekers list, not weekly, but at least once a month, I'd send out a free gift, without an opt-in, and occasionally I'll add a PS to my email saying, if you need any help, just let me know. Here's my Skype, here's my phone number, here's my email. Email me what's happened with you, etc. And that's what people are looking for, because believe it or not, I have a few products out there on the internet, and so oftentimes about once a week I get an angry person emailing me saying, well, he's probably angry at all of us, internet marketers.
Yeah.
He's saying, I've been scammed hundreds of times. If you want me to buy your product, here's my phone number. Call me. I need someone to talk to. I don't wanna pay to a web page. If you want to sell me on your product, here's my phone number. Talk to me. Explain why this is a good fit for me. And so, usually, if the person is nice enough, if the emails he's sending me nice enough, without any curse words or blaming me for major disaster in his life for some reason, I pick up the phone, I get on Skype, and I call this guy saying, hey, you asked me to call you, here I am. I freed up 15 minutes of my time just to call you and see what's up with you, what exactly do you need help with, and here's what my product does. And, it feels good, especially because when you connect with your customer, you will be able to craft your offers and products and sales pages in such a laser targeted way that it's insane. I mean, your ability to craft perfect marketing messages will swell up in size. You will become infinitely more powerful as a marketer, and you will be able to squeeze out 10 times more money out of an offer, out of a product, just by adding a few lines of text to your sales pages, because these lines will probably hit the spot for your prospect. They will read them and they will have this aha moment saying that, damn it, this guy gets me. I want to work with him. I want to learn from him, and they will buy. I don't want to say no matter what's the price, but the price becomes less of an issue once they know that you get them.
That's some. Sorry. Sorry, were you done, Igor? I didn't want to interrupt you there.
Yeah, I'm done.
That's some real quality information there. There's so many things there that I totally agree with. I mean, what you said there about building the trust, building the relationship, it gets people to buy from you. The great thing that Igor did there was by phoning. I just want to make an example out of that. Actually, you say that you regularly get people saying to you, "Oh no, phone me because I want someone to talk to me." Right now,
Yeah.
what a lot of marketers would have done. What a lot of marketers would have done is said to themselves, "Oh, stuff that person, forget them. If they don't want to buy, I don't want to know them," kind of thing. A lot of people would have taken it. What's the word? They would have taken it defensively, like they would have taken those emails as complaints or something, or they would have taken them as someone that was being angry or whatever. And a lot of people would have gone, "Oh, just delete the email," yeah. But what you've done is brilliant there, because the person is saying, even though they might be being a bit angry, and they might be a bit angry at internet marketing if they've been scammed before, the email might be a bit hostile and it might be a bit, a bit angry. But the person's saying, "Call me and explain what it is." So you've done that. You've you haven't taken it personally. You've understood that the anger is not directed at you. It's directed because they've been scammed in the past, and you've phoned them and you've turned it into an opportunity. And that's brilliant. That's the kind of thinking that is one of the reasons why you're such a success. And anyone listening, if you can develop that mindset, which is take on board feedback from your customers and from your subscribers and from your prospects. When you get emails that say that someone's not comfortable with something, if you can have the strength of character to say, that person's not comfortable, I'm going to make them comfortable, instead of going, oh, they're just a whinger, they're just a complainer, delete the email. If you can have the strength of character to not take it personally and just to say, right, that person needs me to make them more comfortable, they're telling me what's wrong, I'm going to act on it, and I'm going to do something about it. That is the kind of thinking that will get you so much further, because it's just brilliant. And I love that kind of thinking, so I'm really glad you said about that as well.
I just want to add another thing. There's a rule. It's very universal. You can find it in any industry. It's the 80-20 rule, and so it works in marketing as well, which means you will be making approximately 80% of your income, whether via email or whatever, with approximately 20% of your customers, because these are the guys who will be, hyperactive buyers. And so when you get a call like that, an email like that, and respond to it the right way, and you manage to turn this guy into a customer after he's been, after he's pissed off at every single internet marketer in the world, he will probably, most likely, become one of those 20% customers who will keep buying from you again and again and again and again in the following few months or maybe a few years. Depends on you, actually, or whatever topic you're covering, because attention spans are short, etc. And so what I'm trying to say is that getting one buyer is more profitable than a freebie seeker, because he will be buying again from you. And so even if he only buys a tiny $7 product when he first joins your list, you have natural ability, it's really not that hard and it's pretty common, of getting as much as a few $100 out of a single customer, and later down the road. Maybe it's going to spread out on the course of a few months or a few weeks, but eventually, if he's a proven buyer, he will buy again. And so whenever you get a complaint, you need to tackle it, you need to dissect it, you need to understand what the hell has caused it, and make sure you prevent it from happening again in the future. Okay?
Absolutely, and you can be darn sure as well that if one person has complained to you about something, then another 50 people have noticed it, felt the same way, and just not said anything. Because the nature of the average person is they won't tell people when something bothers them. That's just the nature of people. People don't like to complain. So if you get one email about something, don't think, oh, well, that's the only person. You're the only person that's ever complained, so forget it. If one person has complained, you can guarantee there's another 50 people that have also noticed it and just never said anything. So definitely, just as Igor just said there, look behind it, find out what's wrong. Look at it as a problem-solving exercise rather than a personal attack. That's all it is. It's just something with your business that you need to fix. It's not a personal attack to yourself. And I definitely agree. I just wanted to actually say that something you said about a few minutes back, Igor, there, you were talking about people polluting their list by giving them lots and lots of free gifts that they had to sign in for. So I think it's something that a lot of people on the call will know as ad swaps, and it's something that it's a really frequently taught technique of list building, and it's become very popular in the last few years. ad swaps. And just in case anyone that's listening doesn't know what ad swaps are, it's when two marketers decide to tell their own lists about the other person. So, for example, if Igor himself decides to do an ad swap, he would send his list an email offering them a free gift from me, and I would send my list an email offering a free gift from him, and we would basically just send each other traffic, send each other subscribers. They'd click on the link, they'd go to an opt-in page, they'd give their name and email, and they'd then be on the other person's list. It's a way of customer sharing, and both people grow. But of course, the problem is if you do a lot of this, then your subscribers start to become a bit annoyed that all the time, whenever they get a free gift from you, they have to give away their email address for it. And all right, giving away an email address is not like paying money, but it still has a cost, because if you give away your email address, you know you're going to get more emails from another marketer. So I wondered if you just wanted to talk about what you found is the best way to do ad swaps, and maybe the best level of frequency, and kind of the best way to not annoy your subscribers. The last thing, as you've already said in the call, you want your subscribers to feel valued. So how can you ad swap without annoying them?
Simple. You have 7 days in a week.
Okay.
Now, let's bear in mind that you need to get some days and to give away. Let's say you're going to give a no opt-in gift per week, which leaves you 6 days, right? Let's leave another couple of days for paid product promotions, for affiliate promotions, for ClickBank launches that are happening, for promoting Phil's products for 100% affiliate commission, or all sorts of stuff. Now, which leaves you approximately 3 or 4 days which you can use for swaps. And I found it to be, a nice little frequency to get your list growing without actually annoying too many people. However, when we are talking about annoying people on your list, it's really inevitable. And let me explain. Because no matter what you do, you can't please everybody. And, you can't get to a point where 100% of your list is in love with you. That's just impossible. And as I've said, only about 20% of your list will be ever in love with you. And so I want you to start swapping approximately 3-4 times a week, driving traffic to your offers, and hopefully selling your own product on the back end, making some money, getting those buyers on your list. Again, we're talking about the freebie list, right? You do not swap with your buyer list, never. Because your buyer list is your secret golden asset that no one gets access to. Okay, no ad swaps with buyer list. And so you swap 3-4 times a week and see how your list responds. Because as much as I'd like to, I can't give you one-fits-all answer about a frequency of emails and ad swaps. I know people who mail 3-4 times a day. I mean, if you think 2 or 1 is too much, I know people who email 3 or 4 times a day, and they make a good living out of that. And so you need to test. Start with the 3-4 ad swaps per week, a freebie gift, and a few promotions. Maybe you can then expand to a couple emails per day and more ad swaps. Or you can go with less emails, more promotions, less ad swaps. You need to figure this out on your own. And I'm telling exactly the same thing to all my coaching clients, students, customers, no matter who you are. You need to test it out, see how your list responds, see how many unsubscriptions you get per day, see how many clicks you can generate per email, see how many people send complaints over by email, all sorts of stuff. You need to monitor your list, you need to see those stats, and you need to figure out what makes them feel most comfortable. If you can manage sending out a couple emails per day, whether one be a freebie and another one being a paid offer, why not? If your list is fine with it, if you're getting just a few unsubscribes per day, then no one says you cannot do it. If you see that's profitable, if you actually see money coming into your bank account thanks to increased frequency, then by all means do not listen to anyone and just do it. Okay? It's all about testing, and it's all about your own list. You really can't have anyone come in and say this is how it's done about list building, about email frequency, because there's only one way to find out, and it's to test. And I'm sorry for giving you such a vague answer, but I mean, I hated it myself when I first heard it, but that's the truth. Okay, you need to test it out.
No, don't be sorry. That's the perfect answer, and that's the answer I was hoping you were going to say as well. It needs to be tested, and it's funny actually, because just as you were about to say that some people that swap 3 or 4 times a day, I was thinking the same thing, because some people will only do 1 ad swap a week. Other people, as you say, will do 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 ad swaps a day, every single day. Some people do that, and it's just whatever works for them. It's whatever you're comfortable with, and it's crucially how the lists respond. The metrics, obviously, that Igor mentioned there that you look at, just to quickly go over it again for people, the metrics that you want to look at are open rates, unsubscribes, open rates, and the money coming in your bank account, and complaint emails. So obviously, if you do too many ad swaps too quickly, you might get a lot of unsubscribes, so keep an eye on that. You also might start to see that the open rates of your emails goes down and the click-through rates go down as people are getting bombarded with emails, so keep an eye on that as well. And obviously, email complaints, you're going to be looking out for that anyway, so it kind of goes without saying. And monetizing as well, that's one of the, just quickly to touch on that as well, that's one of the beauties of ad swaps that maybe people hadn't realized listening, is that you can monetize ad swaps with this method that Igor talked about earlier of having a sales offer on the thank you page of your freebie. Obviously, when you're ad swapping with your free offer, you're sending new people to your sales page, because when they download your free gift, you're taking them to your sales page. And so you will be able to monetize these ad swaps instantly, because you'll be sending more people to this page. So that's just another little benefit of ad swaps there as well, just in case people hadn't quite realized that. So yeah, really good stuff. Thank you. I appreciate that. I just wanted to...
I just want to add, I'm sorry, I just want to add something really, it just jumped into my mind. I once scored an ad swap with a really, really influential guy in this industry who I do not want to expose in this interview. But he has a huge list, just so you know. And these are buyers, okay? And so this guy has started doing ad swaps. He does about maybe 1 ad swap per week. He's really, really protective of his list. And so when I show him my ad swap offer page, he made me delete the upsell. Where I say, if you like my free stuff, here, check out my paid stuff. Basically. Why? Because he only does ad swaps, only free stuff. I mean, he gives you a free report or whatever, and he has nothing for sale anywhere on the page, in the report, whatever. You can't buy from him.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And so I had to remove my my paid offer, obviously, and it wasn't profitable for me, but at least I know I got some quality leads from him. But I mean, that's not the way you want to do it. That's why I've said that you need your own product, because you can attach that product on the back end of your ad swap and immediately make some money from this free traffic you're getting. Because if you don't have anything for sale, you can't sell anything. Okay? That's really simple, really kind of stupid, but many people actually miss this thing.
It's so true.
Yeah.
There's so many people that say, I've been online for 2 years and haven't made any money yet. And I say to them, right, okay, well, let me help you. I'll help you get your product converting better. What do you sell? Oh, I don't sell anything. I don't have any products. What, is the money going to fall from the sky? I mean,
Exactly.
you've got to have something to sell if you want to make some money. Okay, so we've covered ad swaps there. That's absolutely brilliant. I know that you've also had success with solo ads, Igor. Now, I just wondered because here's the thing. Here's my experience of solo ads. Okay, I've had some good ones where I've paid a fair bit of money and I've got a whole new load of prospects, and a lot of them have bought. I've had other solo ads where I paid a lot of money, got a load of prospects, and none of them have bought, but at least I got the prospects. And I've had other solo ads where just the experience has been horrible, where I've had really rubbish leads, nothing like I expected. So obviously I'm doing something wrong because I know that other people are having good success with solo ads. So, and I'm sure that people listening, I mean, maybe they might not know what solo ads are, but I'm sure we can cover that. But I'm sure that people listening kind of maybe have had similar experiences as well if they have done solo ads. So would you mind just sharing what your experience has taught you about buying good solo ads?
Yeah. Well, first of all, the first thing you do, you don't look at the price. I mean, you do actually, yeah. You do look at the price of the guy who is charging for the solo ad. And just to clear things up, for the people who don't know what solo ads are, this is basically where you approach a list owner who guarantees a certain amount of clicks that he can deliver, and you pay him for these clicks. So, for example, if you were to buy a solo ad for 100 clicks, um, you'd be charged, let's say, $50. Okay, so you know that you're paying half a dollar per click, and you're completely backed up by a guarantee. And so first you look at the price. If the guy charges too much for his leads, obviously you don't buy because you won't be able to make your money back on the on selling your own product and promoting affiliate products later. So you're looking for anywhere from 27 to 35 cents per click. That's, I think personally, the perfect kind of solo ad range. Which means if I were to buy a 300 click solo, I'd expect to pay anywhere from 90 to $100, $110 to this guy.
Sure.
And so that's one. You look at the price, which should be normal, not too high, not too low. Next, you get him to guarantee a certain amount of clicks. And so if he sends your ad out and he gets less clicks than he promised, he will either have to resend your ad a couple of more times to match up the clicks, or you get your money back. Okay, for example, I won't, hide this. I sell solo ads to my list. Of course, before I do, I check out the offer. I make sure it's good, it's good content, etc. And so I don't send rubbish to my list. But personally, I charge about 40 cents per click because I know my list is good. Okay, and people who have bought solo ads from me, I make sure they always get their clicks. I give a guarantee which says if by 72 hours from the send out you do not get the promised amount of clicks I said I would deliver, you get your money back, no questions asked. So far, I had no refunds, thank God. But if I were to fail to deliver all the clicks, I'd simply go into my PayPal account, issue a refund to this person, and say, I did not deliver. Here's your money back. Now, that's the second thing. One is you look for the price. The second, you look for a guarantee. Third, you try to get this person to give you a few testimonials of the people who used his services. Now, this is really, really important because, he can fake the price, he can give you a guarantee, but testimonials from people you've known or personally, or maybe you've heard about, or I don't know, whatever you can find about this person will be helpful. For example, on the Warrior Forum where I sell my solo ad service, I actually make every customer who buys a solo go back to the thread and leave me a testimonial. Whether good or bad, I just say the truth, whatever you feel. And so far, I have 4 pages worth of great testimonials. which helps me sell my solo ads at such high prices, 40 cents per click. Now, that's what you need to look for. That's why, if you're just getting started, um, if you listen to this interview, whether you got it from Phil or me, um, get in contact with me or Phil, again, or both of us, and ask around, who do we recommend. In that case, you won't burn on your first solo. Okay, we will recommend people who we have personally used who delivered good quality traffic. Now, that's as far as picking a solo ad delivery guide goes. Now, how do you make sure it converts? Well, I can't say all the solo ads I've done have have been flawless. No, I have some, as you've mentioned, Phil. I had some solos that delivered tons of opt-ins and tons of sales where I actually made all my money back on the front end. I had solos that delivered tons of opt-ins and no sales at all. I mean, like 300 opt-ins and no sales.
Yeah.
The bummer.
Yeah.
Um, and I had solos that delivered, I mean, twice as low the opt-in rate as as I'm used to, and little to no sales. And so these are the ones I hate the most, where you get twice, you get half the opt-in rate and you get no sales at all. This is a real bummer. How do you prevent it? Again, you gotta test out. And if you're not sure about this particular guy or gal who sells you the solo, what you can do is you can run a small test. Get him to send you, let's say, 100 clicks for 30 bucks, which is decent kind of price. And with 100 clicks, I think it's enough to see what kind of traffic this person has. Now, if you make a sale or two, if you get your average opt-in rate, then you can go ahead, wait for another week, and get a larger solo. If not, well, you just move on. I mean, and if the solo you ran with this guy or gal is successful, the next step is to ask this person if he buys solos, and if he does, ask where he gets them. And I get this quite a lot, where a person buys a solo from me, and then he says, "Actually, I'm looking to buy more solos. Can you recommend anyone?" And I go and recommend the folks who I buy solos from, because if my traffic's good, it means that the traffic sources I use are good. Okay, and so he can expect same kind of conversions, or at least similar, from the person I recommend, without being afraid that he's going to get burned. I hope I hope this again covers what you're trying to get out of me, but I can't think of another way of finding out a decent solo ad provider, because all you can hope for is to get great testimonials from this person, written by the people you know, which is the best thing. If, for example, if I work with you and I work with a few more guys, and I find a solo ad directory and I find this guy, and he has a page where he actually sells his solo ads, and bam, I see a testimonial from Phil that says, "I've used this solo, I got this much clicks in this many minutes, I made I made 3 sales at 97 each, so I made my money back. I'm a heavy camper." Okay, I'm definitely going to buy a solo because I know Phil. Okay, and besides that, really, I have nothing else to say. Again, you gotta test, you gotta see what's happening. So if you can't find any of the criteria I just gave you, buy a tiny solo. 50 clicks, 100 clicks, whatever. Buy a tiny solo, see what kind of traffic this guy sends you, and if it's okay, if it's decent, if it's above average or whatever, you can then go and buy a bigger solo in about a week or two down the road, so you don't mix up, the leads that you sent you.
That's perfect. Yeah, no, really good stuff there, Igor. Just to quickly go back over that for people listening. Obviously, you want to get testimonials from people and from people you trust. So ask the people you know already where they get their solos from. If you're really just brand new to IM and you don't have any contacts at all, I'm going to suggest something. I'll see what. I mean, feel free to disagree with me if you want, Igor, or chip in. But if anyone listening, if they genuinely don't have any contacts at all, and obviously you can contact me and Igor, that's fine. But if you wanted to go to the Warrior Forum, which is the well-known forum of the internet marketing world, warriorforum.com, there's a joint ventures section of that forum where people sell solo ads. Now, I'm not saying just go and buy any solo ad from there. I want to be really clear. But when we're talking about testimonials, people post threads on that forum saying, solo ads for sale, I charge this much for this many clicks, this much for that many, whatever. That's not important. But just look to see, the reputation of that person on the forum. So I don't know how people listening, if they're familiar with online forums, but on the left-hand side of someone's post, you can see the picture of the person, their name, and you can see how many times they've been thanked. Okay, that's a really good indication of someone's reputation.
Yeah, nice.
If they've been thanked a lot, it's not 100%, but it's a good indication. If their post advertising solo ads has got a heck of a lot of testimonials and thanks, and if the thread has one post after another, brilliant. I bought a solo ad from John, and it was brilliant. Or if it was Igor, great. It was I made this much. I've done this.
Igor, definitely.
Yeah, it was Igor. Yeah. It was definitely Igor. His solo ad is the best. But joking aside, if you can see a thread where there's one person after another thanking them and saying this is great, it's a good indication. Now, I'm not going to say that it's 100% definite, because it's possible for someone to fake that, okay? It's possible for someone to put an advert and register under a load of different names or get friends to say stuff. It's possible for someone to do that. But I'm going to say I don't think it's very likely, and I think it's much more likely that if you have a thread with loads and loads of good comments with someone that's been thanked a lot, it's a really good, strong indication. And once you've had your first, and as Igor said, buy a small one. I'm terrible. This is one of the reasons why I've had some bad results in the past. I am terrible for bargains. I love a bargain, right? And I've been tempted into bargains before. And here's what happens is Igor was saying that he pays between 25 and 35 cents a click. And you might be thinking, well, why does it vary? Well, what a lot of list owners will do is they will give you a discount for the more clicks you buy. So you might pay $50 for 100 clicks, but you might only pay $75 for 200 clicks. And you might pay $300 for 1,000 clicks, or 270 for 1,000 clicks. The price per click comes down the more you buy. That's just the industry standard. That's the way it's done. Obviously to incentivize people to buy more. Yeah, it's a bulk discount. Now, I'm terrible. I love a bargain. So what I've done in the past is I've gone, right, what's the maximum number of clicks this person will sell me? 1,000. They'll do it for 270. That's better value than buying, 10, 100 clicks. I'll just do that. And then, surprise, surprise, I get really poor results. So it's definitely better, especially if it's the first time you use someone, or if you don't have a testimonial about them, or if you don't really know them, then just try a little, $30 ad swap or a $50 ad swap, something that's not going to break the bank. Anyone listening right now that doesn't have funds to do solo ads, well, stick with your business, keep doing the ad swaps, keep sending out the offer emails in a good way to your list, and put the money, any money that you make from internet marketing when you first get started, the first few dollars that you start to make, put that into a pot, or put that into a certain bank account, a different bank account, and don't spend it, right? And here's the reasoning. So many people, when they come into internet marketing, they're desperate to make their first dollar, and they really want to start making the money. And what you've got to do is you've got to resist the temptation to spend it as soon as you make it. And here's my philosophy. You were doing okay without it before. you were eating, you were
Yeah.
eating, and you were paying the bills, and you had a roof over your head before you made that $20 or that $10. So put that into a pot and save. Wait until you've made 50 or 100, and then you can buy your first solo ad. Okay, so I know that most people prefer free traffic when they first get started. That's why we're telling people about ad swaps and about other list building methods. But definitely put the money aside as you make it. Resist the temptation to treat yourself. Resist the temptation to spend it straight away. Put it to good use, and then you're going to start to make money. And of course, if it's a good solo ad, you're going to make a good percentage of the money back. Maybe if it's a really good one, once in a while you'll make all the money back straight away. And even if you don't, you've got a whole load of new prospects, which is why people do it. So
Yeah, you'll make the money back. Maybe not today, but within a week.
yeah, further down the road, further down the road.
Yeah.
And of course, if you're having problems with your sales products converting, then just you can make little changes to improve the conversions. That's a different thing we can talk about. But yes, no, some really good tips there for avoiding the scammers. And just a final thing: if the price is really low, if it seems too good to be true,
Beware. Beware.
buyer beware. If it's like 15, 20 cents a click, then I mean, unless it's huge, unless it's like 10,000 clicks for
No,
20 cents a click.
unless this guy actually gives you a real reason.
Yeah,
For
yeah, yeah.
example, just yesterday, I know that I have like a director of people who constantly buy solo ads with me. And if you listen to this and you're on my list, you probably noticed that some of the offers I've sent out are, the same as the ones I did like a month ago. And so yesterday I gave a shout out to these people saying I'm running a special budget-friendly solo ads because I know some of them can't really afford getting a really big solo with me. And so I gave away 2 spots for $50 for 200 clicks, which means they are getting um, uh, how many is that per click? It's 25 cents.
25 cents. Sorry, yeah, yeah, 25 cents a
Now
click.
remember, I told you that I sell my solos pretty expensive. 40 cents per click is pretty expensive, and so they jumped on it. But I gave them a reason. I gave them a reason because I was running a special. I mean, tell you the truth, I just needed some quick cash to pay my way on a gadget I wanted to buy, so I ran this quick special. But I gave them a reason. I've told them that they can get a really cheap solo with me, just this once, 2 spots, get a Fet. And so I had 8 people approach me, but only 2 could get it. And so if someone gives you a really solid reason, at least makes it like half believable. I mean, you can go and buy a solo. But talking from experience here, once I went for a solo that was 500 clicks for $100, and it was a complete disaster. I mean, a real fiasco. And so, really, if
Right.
someone offers you a really, really, really cheap solo for no reason whatsoever, just stay away. But if he can give you a solid reason, for example, if he says, well, I kind of need quick cash right now, and I don't want what affiliate products to promote, and so I thought I'd just give it a solo, help a little guy, and make some money. Okay, that sounds like a believable reason. But again, make sure to have him guarantee a certain amount of clicks, maybe a certain amount of. I know a guy who sells subscribers. I mean, he says, I'm not guaranteeing clicks. I will keep sending out your solo until you get 50 subscribers, which is even better.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
that
but
I've never heard of that before. That's
yeah,
incredible.
does not happen very often. So again, you need to make sure this guy has a reason to give you cheap solo. If not, just ditch him. There's no reason for you to buy it. And funny, I would just want to add something. You mentioned putting some money aside to reinvest in solo ads later. Now, I did not used to do it. I kind of used ad swaps and social media and tried working my way around getting free traffic. But I have a student who in just 3 months went from zero to a 7,000 list and a solid $100 per day in profit. I mean, this guy is crazy. He just went. I helped him to create his own first product, wrote the sales copy, and started selling. And then he just started reinvesting all of his profits because he was, as you said, he was eating before internet marketing. He had a
Yeah.
house before internet marketing, and so he started to reinvest all his solo ad, all his profits into solo ads. And in just 3 months, he, he skyrocketed his business. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, you've heard of this overnight success stories, but I've actually seen an overnight success story build up in front of me day after day. This guy went crazy. He started creating products, getting a bunch of solo ads. And so this just goes to show you that, I mean, it's possible. This guy has 3 kids, and he lives on a welfare paycheck, I think. Not anymore, thankfully, but he used to. And so he just started reinvesting all his profit into solo ads. He started creating more products, more offers, and in no time, flat. He's a full-time internet marketer. He's a full-blown, success story, walking, talking, breathing. And if you want, I can give you his Skype ID, and you can chat with him one-on-one. Of course, I need to ask for his permission, but he's a great pal of mine.
Sure. I mean, what I'll do then is if he gives us permission, then I can the two of us, Igor, we can just add we can add that information onto the screen right now, or I can put it below the video or whatever. But we can provide people with that. What an inspirational story! A guy was on welfare, wife and kids to support, and he's built 7,000 list in 3 months. And what I love about it is he hasn't funded all of that by digging really deep into his own pocket, because he didn't have the money. All he did was he reinvested back, and it's great because I love hearing that, because one of the things people say about paid traffic is a lot of people say when they first get started, oh, well, if I had money to buy advertising, then of course I could succeed, and I just don't have the money. Well, he succeeded without having the money. All he did was just reinvested what he was making, got by on what he had before. He just carried on, with this welfare check or whatever. He got by, and he just resisted the temptation to snatch the money and spend it. He reinvested it, and just it's gone quicker and quicker and quicker. That's brilliant. What a great story. That's brilliant. I just wanted to quickly add as well something that I've not done as well. And it's such an obvious thing as well, but people maybe don't think they can do it. If you find one really good solo ad partner, or if you use a solo ad person for a solo ad, and you get good results that you're happy with, right? Don't be scared of buying another solo ad from them. Now, when I first started buying solo ads, I thought that you couldn't use the same person twice, because that you wouldn't get any clicks the second time round, because I mean, you're laughing at me there, Igor, but are you laughing because you maybe have felt the same? Well, you understand what I'm saying? I used to think that. I used to think, well, I'm gonna buy the solo ad. His whole list are gonna see my offer. The ones that like it are going to click. The ones that don't aren't going to click. Therefore, there's no point buying another solo ad, because no one's going to click the second time round. Would you like to tell everyone how wrong I am and why?
Well, completely. I mean, here's the thing that most people never realize, and personally, I never realized it myself until just a few months back. When someone sends out a solo ad, for example, for a few hundred clicks, first of all, it does not mean he sends out this ad to his whole list. He may be sending out to just a segment of his list, because he may be able to deliver way more clicks than you can think he can. And so when you buy the solo ad the second time, this guy, he knows that he sent out to this segment or to that segment. And so he can send out to a different segment this time, giving you pretty much the same results as the last time. New leads, new sales, new buyers, everyone's happy. Now, next is, even though if he sends to his entire list, only a few hundred people will see the offer. And the next time he sends, he can just use a different subject line, or even if he uses the same subject line, I mean, there are plenty more people who never saw this offer on his list. Never. I mean, tons of them. And so you must not be afraid. Besides, this guy, if he sells solo ads, he probably he buys them too, because he has to grow his list, right? And so if you wait for a few weeks, you will probably have a few more thousand, like a couple more thousand new leads. Damn it, sorry.
I get what you're saying, because by the time you do another solo ad a couple of weeks later, he's going to have a whole new load of subscribers himself anyway, which he can send your offer to those.
Yeah, exactly. And so don't be afraid of buying another solo ad with this guy a few weeks down the road. Now, I have a guy actually who buys solo ads nearly every single week, and I have to turn him down saying I did not add enough new leads this time, every now and then. And so, but he's so happy with the results he's getting from my list that he just keeps coming on and buying and buying and buying. And I say, wait, man, I just sent this out a few days ago. Where are you doing? He said, I don't care. I get good results. I want that solo. And I said, no, let's wait for a couple of weeks before we send that one up. And so that goes to show you that if your funnels, if your product's converting, you can get away with just using one guy or a couple of good guys for your solo ads and grow your list that way.
Brilliant. Yeah, I mean, just for people, just to go over that, obviously someone with a really big list, what they'll do is they'll segment their list. They'll break it down into, batches of 1,000 or batches of however many. So, and if they're a good reputable solo ad provider, they'll keep records, on like an Excel spreadsheet or whatever. They'll keep a record of where they sent, which segment they used for your traffic last time. So next time they'll just send it to the next segment on the list, so you get a fresh batch. And also, as Igor says, I never got my head around this before, but say for example, you've got a list of 1,000, and whenever you send an email out, you average, I don't know, somewhere around 50 clicks, maybe 50 to 100 clicks would be about right for an 1,000. Now, it's not the same 50 to 100 people opening each email. You will get some subscribers that, always open your emails, but most of the time it's going to be different people because they've got their own lives. One day they might be able to open your email because they're not very busy. Another day they might not. So if you're consistently getting around 100 clicks for every email, it's not the same 100 people. So even if the solo ad partner sends it to the same segment, or if their list isn't that big, if they're sending the whole list every time, you're going to get different people, because each time you send the email out, it's going to be different people open it. The clicks might be relatively the same in number, but it'll be different people. That's just the nature of it. But definitely, if you find a good person, then definitely reuse them every so often. Wow.
Yeah, and I just want to add, if you want to check this, to confirm whether this is true or we just pulling one on you, what you can do is you can, whatever the tracking, link tracking service you use, whether it's body URL or linktracker.info or whatever, you can track unique clicks. And so the next time you run the solo ad with him, even a week later, even a couple of days later, you can give him the same link. Of course, you gotta talk with this guy saying that you're going to use the same link and you want another batch of uniques. So he knows what he's doing, right? And so you can see that if he sends out, you'll get about 10 to 20%, maybe a bit more, same clicks that you got last time, but the rest will be unique. And you can check it out on your own list. Just send a couple of emails with a day or two in between, and use the same tracking link, and you'll see that whenever you send the second time, you have more unique links stack up to the same link, because these are different people. As you've mentioned, they have lives, they have distractions, they have interests that change, that evolve. For example, you send out an email about squeeze page just today. and he doesn't believe in squeeze pages. Hell, he does CPA offers, whatever. And then tomorrow, someone's going to come up to him and say, "Man, I just tried list building. My squeeze page converts at 80%. I'm getting subscribers all over the place. They buy my stuff, man. This is off the hook." And so the next day, if you send out the same email about the squeeze page, suddenly he's interested, and
Exactly.
he opens up that email. So this is just an example, but I hope you get where I'm coming at, because this is something that, again, many people miss out on. And this is traffic we're talking here. This is money. This is actual gold, not gold coins that you can put in your pocket and reinvest in solo ads later.
Definitely, I agree with you. I'm so glad you mentioned click tracking and link tracking, Igor, there, because I thought of it while you were talking a few minutes back, and I was going to bring it up, but I'm glad you brought it up. If for people listening, that they may not be aware of this, but using services such as Bud URL or Bitly, you can know with 100, well, okay, they're not 100% accurate, but you can know with to within 99% of the accuracy. You can know how many clicks that person sent. You don't have to just take their word for it or look at how many new subscribers you got that day. You can know for a fact how many clicks they did by using a link tracking service such as Bitly or Bud URL. Or if you have a WordPress blog, there's a plugin called PrettyLink that I use. It's a free plugin. In fact, you don't actually need to have a blog. You just need to have a website with WordPress installed, and you can run it off that. I use PrettyLink, and it's free, and it allows you to do multiple links to this, multiple different trackings to the same click, which is an advantage over Bitly. Bitly doesn't let you do that. Bud URL does let you do that, but Bud URL it costs money. It's only I think it's only a few dollars a month, I think, but it still costs money. So
Yeah, you can use $12 a month option,
yeah,
and
that's right.
tracking.
So I mean, it's very cheap, but it still is a cost. So for anyone listening that really doesn't have any spare funds at all, then if you just download WordPress for free to your site, and then download the PrettyLink plugin for free, or if you already have WordPress, then you don't need to do that. That's a free way of doing it. And then when you are able to spare $12 a month, then of course you can switch to that. Or if you want to use Bitly, you can, but you can't have. I'm overcomplicating it, but when you use Bitly, which is a free service, you
know
can't.
what? Let's just say Bitly, and this is true, has been blacklisted.
Right.
And,
Okay.
and right now it's considered a spam shortening service. So do
Don't use
not.
Bitly. Okay, right, forget that then. Okay, we can wipe that one then. Okay, so brilliant. Okay, I just wanted to pick your brains actually a bit more, Igor, about what are your newest, most top secret, cutting edge list building strategies for people listening. So they've got solo ads and ad swaps and the other things we talked about. What's your newest stuff that's just you're just doing lately?
Well, I really, really like having other people do all the traffic generation for me, which is probably the thing that allows me to be so lazy all the time.
And play Call of Duty all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, the idea is to create a product. As I've already mentioned, this is something you gotta do, okay? And create an affiliate kind of program. Maybe put it on an affiliate network such as ClickBank or PaySpree or Simple One Click. I think there's another one. You also have DigiResults, which is free to sign up to. Anyway, the idea that I blatantly stole from Lee McIntyre is to give away 100% commissions to your affiliates in exchange for their efforts. So, for example, if on ClickBank, on average, you'll get 60%, max of 75% per sale. Using PaySpree and other networks that I've mentioned, you can set up your product to give away 100% of the profit. to the affiliate. Now, how is that profitable for me, you may add? Well, very simple. When you give away 100% commission to your affiliate, you get to keep something much more valuable, which is the actual customer, the buyer, right? Now, as I mentioned before, this is kind of important that you have buyers on your list. Kind of, not too much. And so by having these affiliates do the traffic generation and receive 100% of the profit that presumably I give them for their work, I get to keep the customer and I get to sell to that customer over and over again down the road. Sometimes I will make twice as much or 3 times as much money from that customer who just came in yesterday than what my affiliate have just made off of him.
Right.
And this just builds up my buyer list on autopilot, which is amazing. This is the best thing that can ever happen to you. Now, here's the secret that many won't tell you. You can actually build up your freebie list during building up the buyer list through affiliates. Now, you've probably heard, known about all sorts of scripts and software that allows you to install pop-ups.
Shh, don't tell them the secret, Igor. Don't tell them the secret. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Sorry.
Splashes on the website. For example, if they are trying, many people won't buy. Let's face it. Many people will just see the sales page and they will leave, right? And so whenever they try to leave, you have this like a little pop-up that says, "Wait, don't leave just yet. I have a freebie for you, like a free gift." And so I'm not saying everybody will take that as well. No, but you can save up, let's say from 10 to 20%, which is realistic, of the people who saw the sales page. You can turn them into your freebie subscribers. So imagine that in the course of the last 7 days, thanks to your impressive affiliate recruiting skills, you've got 10 people to promote your product. Overall, they've sent you 2,000 unique clicks, which means 200 clicks each, which is also very, very reasonable.
Yeah.
And so imagine turning, let's say your page converts at 3%. You know what? It converts at 10%, just so for easier math. So you got 20 buyers, which means you can make money off those buyers. But in the process, you also got 10% of people to sign up on your freebie list through the exit path. Okay, so that's 200 people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 200 people who are on your freebie list, besides the ones that have just signed up on your buyer list. So that's a win-win for you. That's a win for the affiliate because you're getting paid 100%, and everybody's happy. You grow your list on autopilot. Affiliates are getting paid. They will keep coming for more products if you give them 100% of the profit. You can even get other bonuses on top of that. I mean, you can give another 50% on the one-time offer. You can offer them a promotion in exchange, which is, I think it's called reciprocation, where if they promote your product, you promote their products. And sometimes that is enough for someone to step in and promote your stuff. Really, it's that simple.
That's fantastic. So apologies for anyone listening when I did my little shush joke. In case you didn't hear, what Igor was talking about is using an exit pop-up script, which I'm sure you've all seen, where when you try and leave a page, you get a little pop-up come and say, "Oh wait, don't go. Let me give you a free gift. Fine, you weren't interested in the product, but that's fine. Have a free gift instead." And as Igor said there, you can capture. I mean, it's not unreasonable, 10, 20%. I mean, I'd say that's a pretty conservative guess. I mean, I'd say maybe they could get a bit more than that. But anyway, just to keep it simple, 10, 20%, and it's just extra prospects. And I'm sure Igor does this already, but people listening may not have figured this one out. So let's go back to your example. You've got 10 affiliates who send you 200 clicks each, which is a total of 2,000. You convert 1%, which is 20 buyers, and then you get another 200 as prospects because they decided to take your free gift, right? Now, here's another thing you can do. What do you think? I mean, the people listening could probably work this one out already, but when those people click on your free gift, what do you think they go to after they've entered their name and email? That's right, another offer, okay? They just turned down your first sales offer, but that doesn't mean they didn't want to buy. That just means they didn't want to buy that product. So if you then have a second product for sale about a different topic, those 200 prospects that you captured for free are now being exposed on the download page of your free gift to a different offer, which, and maybe 1% of them will take it. So that's another 2 sales. Would you agree, Igor?
Well, yeah. I mean, you've just gone ahead and gave away my top secret battle plan for expanding my list in the next, I don't know, what, 3-4 months? So,
sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. I didn't realize that was just... I'm sorry, mate.
Yeah, I mean, jokes aside, this is, especially for a startup, I mean, when you have no big list to reciprocate, and when you don't have connections and you don't know any big players in the game, all you have to do is you have to make sure that this product that you're putting out, that it converts. If it converts and you are willing to give away 100% of the commissions, you can be damn sure that you can find tons of people willing and ready to aggressively promote it. I mean aggressively. I mean I have people on my affiliate list who are promoting my products on their back end instead of their own products. I mean, my products sell more. They sell more of my products than they do of their own products.
That's crazy.
Just because they get 100% of the commission. I mean, they do not lose anything. They just love the thought that I'm not getting any money off of them, probably.
And that's brilliant. So anyone listening, you can model this. You can create your own product. I mean, we talked right at the start of this call, we talked about how easy it is to create a product. You can buy PLR, you can record an interview with someone else. There's all these different ways. Or you can just record a presentation of yourself presenting something, There's all these ways to do it. So it doesn't have to be a nightmare. And just to quickly actually say something, a lot of people, their first thought when it comes to create their own product, a lot of people think that they need to write their own ebook. Well, I just would warn you away from writing ebooks. They take far too long. Either buy some PLR or record something that's audio, or record something that's video, because it's just much quicker than trying to write a 30-40 page ebook. So just stay away from that. It's much quicker for you. So you can create your own product. You can pay 100% commission to affiliates for the front end, and then you can then decide what you want to pay in the back end. That's up to you. And you can then...
And I might add something. Excuse me.
Yeah, sure.
If you want to find out more about this method, per se, I mean, giving away a lot of the money for your affiliates without actually giving them money and having them do all the work for you, you can check out Lee McIntyre's Profit Max method, and I'm sure Phil will give you a link in somewhere in the resource box. This is actually the way Lee McIntyre has gone from being a teacher to being a full-time UK guru type of guy, having his own seminars and whatever. So if you want the detailed blueprint to this thing, you can go and check out Profit Max methods. And again, Phil will give you a link, I'm sure.
That's a good recommendation. Yeah, thanks, Igor. Yeah, definitely. It's a great course. I have it. Thank you. Just quickly wanted to finish off what I was saying before, which is using the 100% commission model method there. And I just wanted to add as well, it's something that Igor's brilliant at. He's absolutely brilliant, and I know because I'm one of his affiliates. He's absolutely brilliant at motivating affiliates, okay? Now, you will get you'll get a much better response from your affiliates if you offer 100% commission than if you offer 50. That goes without saying. But even that by itself isn't enough for the kind of results that Igor gets, because Igor goes above and beyond that, and he really motivates his affiliates. And if you've got another 5 minutes, I'd just love to mention some of the stuff you do, like all the tools you provide for your affiliates, and the fact that you send you're really in close contact with your affiliates. You mail us very frequently to give us more incentives to promote and to remind us that you've got our back. You will go as far as to create unique sales pages with our names on it, so that when we send you a prospect, it'll have our name at the top of the page so that they can recognize our name. All these little tricks that you do to really motivate your affiliates. I mean, I think that's why you're so successful, Igor, because you go above and beyond to support your affiliates. You do all the hard work so your affiliates don't have to. And of course, what happens everyone listening to the call, if someone else does all the hard work for you, what are you going to do? You're going to do it a lot more, aren't you? So I think that's your perspective is to just make your affiliate's life as easy as possible. Have I got that right?
Yeah, and well, again, thanks for the nice juicy compliments. I'm enjoying this interview more than you do, probably, and more than the people. Here's what I think of my affiliates. Whenever I'm promoting someone else, I'm just gonna admit it that I'm super lazy. I mean, like, I prefer that you take my autoresponder information, go into my Aweber account, and do all the email scheduling for me. And so I kind of believe that affiliates are, one, lazy, and two, they like getting paid. Okay, so if my affiliate is lazy, then I'm going to get out of my skin and make sure that he got all the tools, including email swipes, ready-made, tested for high performance, banner ads, tweets and Facebook statuses. I can even recommend solo ad vendors if I need to, etc. And so I will make sure that they got all the tools. They can just, take, copy, and paste into their resources, tools, whatever. If they're using banners to the banner networks or thank you pages, if they're using autoresponder to mail, I just make sure that they have all the necessary tools, and all they have to do is just come in, take the tool, paste it into their system, and it just makes them money. Now, I do it because I know that there's a higher chance of them promoting my product if I do 99% of the work for them. It's just human nature. As painful as it is to admit it, it's just really just human nature. Now, regarding the 100% commission and creating personalized squeeze pages, personalized sales pages, I just found out that it's a huge win-win for both of us. Why? Because, one, again, when I told you that you need to treat your buyers special, well, I really mean it. And I think so about buyers of my friends and buyers of my GV partners. And so I say, if you want, I can create a special page for you with your name on it and a special $10, $5, $20 discount that says this is a discount just for friends of Phil. Okay, and so when they hit the page, I immediately let them know that this is a special page that was created just for friends, buyers of customers of Phil. And so instead of buying my product elsewhere for, I don't know, $27, you now have a chance, just because you're friends with Phil, and I'm good friends with Phil, just because we're all good friends with great Phil, I'll give you a discount of half off, 50% off. and I make sure to state this across across every button, everywhere I can on the sales page. This makes them feel special. This makes them feel unique. This makes them feel VIP. And this is my goal, because everyone wants to feel special. I mean, right? Because especially the person who gives you money, because if I give you money, I expect some kind of treatment accordingly, right? Because if I'm a freebie seeker, I won't try to get you to go an extra mile for me. But if I'm a buyer, I pretty much expect for you to answer my emails and for you to make sure I'm satisfied, because you want me to buy from you again. And so that's why I'm making sure that my affiliates are happy, that their buyers are happy. And if these guys are happy, I mean, you can count on the fact that I'm extremely happy as well.
Definitely. And there's so many good points there. So many good points there. I mean, as you say, people like things to be easy. If your buyers are happy, if your affiliates are happy, it makes you happy. Just, I think I think the reason why you're so good at this, Igor, and again, I'm not just kind of giving you shallow compliments. I genuinely believe it. It's you understand the psychology of it, and it's because you're an affiliate yourself. Like, I know. You said about how lazy you are. You want an affiliate to type it into your autoresponder for you. I know how lazy I am. And because I know how lazy I am, I can guess that other people might be equally lazy. And so using that information, I can think to myself, well, if other affiliates are going to be lazy, just like I'm lazy, then the more I do for them, the more likely they are to promote my offer. And it's something I've kind of spotted that you do. And obviously we mentioned Lee McIntyre already. I'm a student of I'm one of his mentor students as well. So something that Lee does as well. So I've definitely noticed and been taught that by Lee as well. And just like something I try and do every day is try and think of a new way I can help my affiliates, or make their lives easier, or give them an extra incentive, or just do something. And I think that's really. I tell you why it works, because this is just my theory, and see if you agree with this. Right, the model that most people have been doing for the last few years in internet marketing, which Mike Filsaime kind of made popular, which is the give away a free gift to get a subscriber model. Okay. That is like, when you walk through town, you go to the shopping mall, or you walk through town, and you get those people giving out flyers. They're giving out free flyers. And how many people take the flyer? Not many people. They just keep on walking, right? Well, trying to give away a free gift is a bit like trying to give away a flyer, because you're trying to give this free thing to someone they may not necessarily be interested. And crucially, it's one-on-one. You're trying to give your free gift to each individual prospect, okay? And anyone that's ever used JV giveaways will know that if you enter a giveaway, you list your gift on the giveaway. You don't get great results from giveaways, because particularly when you're just starting, for all sorts of reasons. But it's hard. Now, I like to look at affiliates as in business, if you say, for example, you were a manufacturer of hammers, right? If you wanted to sell a lot of hammers, right, you wouldn't walk around the streets trying to find people to sell hammers to individually. You'd go to shops. And the kind of shops you'd go to would be the bigger ones. So you'd try and get your hammer into a big chain of hardware shops right across the country and across the world. And you'd spend more time trying to do that than you would trying to get it into all the little independent shops, okay? Affiliates are like shops. They're like shops of customers, okay? And if I'm not making sense, tell me, but when you get an affiliate on side, they supply you with customers wholesale. So instead of you trying to recruit the customers individually, you recruit the affiliates individually, and then the affiliates send you customers in bulk. A bit like a chain of stores would be able to sell your product for you in bulk. Yeah, I got it from. I'm sure that all over the world people have the show The Apprentice. It's all over the world. It's franchised all over the world, and there's usually a task in each series where the contestants have to sell a product, and some of them go to pitch to the wholesalers, and some of them go to the small shops, and some of them try and sell on the street. And you get the most orders by going to the big guys. So the bigger an affiliate you can get, the more luck you'll have. The more you incentivize it, the more luck you'll have. And then even you can go one step beyond, and you can bulk recruit affiliates by, I mean, I don't want to go into too much detail because we'll just go on forever, but you can have a 2-tier affiliate program whereby you pay affiliates a commission for referring other affiliates, and then you're getting wholesale supply of affiliates to wholesale supply customers. That's a bit kind of advanced.
Yeah,
and
but
whatever,
you need software for that.
Sorry, say that again.
But you need software for that.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, I'm going a bit further down the line, but it's another strategy for people. So if they want to take it to the next step, so I just wanted to mention it. Right, lovely. Well, I mean, I don't want to take up all of your time, Igor. Your time's so valuable, and I don't want to take all your time. I just wondered if there was anything that you personally wanted to add, that maybe something that you wanted to say to people, or if you feel we haven't covered something, or if you just had something else you wanted to say particularly.
Well, why not? Sure. Again, what I found to be the hardest part when starting out, when hitting that barrier where you can't make any money for some time. I mean, you gotta keep yourself motivated. Now, if you can't do it by yourself, what you can do is you can find a partner, you can find a mentor, you can find a network of mastermind partners that can sit together and like brainstorm ideas that can get you going forward. But the fastest way, by far, I mean really, by far the fastest way to succeed in anything, and list building in particular, making money online, whatever, is to find a mentor who does this for a living, who can prove the results, and go and listen to this guy. It may cost you more than just an ebook. It may cost you more than $47, but I'm sure you can set up some monthly installments. You gotta find a person who does this every day, 7 days a week for a living, that can teach you his strategies, because if he's making money, he has already found something that works. Okay?
Right.
And you just need to get behind him, jump on his tail, and do what he does. And that will get you making money the quickest way possible. We can sit here and talk about list building strategies, but I'm sure that after you finish listening to this interview, you probably will have your head spinning around.
Yeah, definitely.
Because that's a lot of content. Right now I'm looking at the clock, and it's showing way over 2 hours.
Yeah.
That's a boatload of content. Now, although it's great that you know this information, if you'd have someone who can, go in and explain each and every thing that we just told you in great detail, and hopefully show you some examples of it being done in the real life, that is where you'll start making money. I'm not saying you can't do it by yourself. You can, I did, and you will eventually. But if you want a shortcut, I mean a really high-speed highway to success, I mean you gotta find a person who does this, who can sit with you, devote some time to you, and teach you. Now it can be Phil, it can be someone else. For all I know, it can be me. Okay, but either way, you need to find one. Where do you look for a guy like that? You can ask me, you can ask Phil, you can ask the guy that I told you about, my student, who's currently making money with this email marketing thing. You can go on the Warrior Forum and look for mentors. There's lots of guys on the Warrior Forum who offer mentoring, and they can prove their results, and they have tons of testimonials. I mean, there are people you can go to that will work with you. And the secret here is, I mean, if you want to make a certain amount of money per month, you got to find the guy who's making this kind of money per month. So, for example, when I hit my kind of personal potential, money-making potential, I went ahead and I found a mentor. I paid this guy a couple $1,000, and he has already skyrocketed my income by 300% within 2 months. Now, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of extra money I can put in my pocket. That's a lot of extra money I can reinvest in advertising. That's a lot of money I can spend on my family, like I did yesterday, for example. Now, that's what I'm saying. If you want a super fast shortcut, you gotta find a mentor. You gotta have a person looking over your shoulder on, commenting on each and every step you make. If needed, he will step in to help you. But you gotta find a guy. You gotta find a woman, a man who will personally guide you to a point where you're making money. So
Definitely. I mean, the times in my IM career where I've progressed the fastest are the two times where I've had a mentor. So a couple of years back, I started under Dean Holland when I first got started, and I'd struggled for a while before that. Then I took Dean Holland's started with Marketing Academy, and that actually got me to produce my first product to give away, and I got started on that. And then when I started under with Lee McIntyre as an ongoing permanent mentor, and that's been the time then that I've really started to come on leaps and bounds and skyrocketing. So for everyone listening, getting a mentor is such a good shortcut to success. And as Igor said, you don't have to have one to succeed. You can succeed without a mentor, but if you want to succeed quickly, then get a mentor, because it's going to speed things up. It's a bit like we were talking about solo ads. We were saying that solo ads speed up the list building process. Well, mentors speed up the success process, And I mean, I know that some mentors charge thousands and thousands of dollars, but I mean, as Igor said there, on the Warrior Forum, there's people that don't charge thousands and thousands of dollars.
yeah.
There's people that will charge less. And if you don't have the money right now, we'll do what we've said so far. Start building your list, start monetizing it, start buying solo ads, put the money aside, buy the solo ads, because you know how to do that much so far, right? Well, then once you've made enough on a solo ads to pay for a mentor, then pay for the mentor, get the mentor. Because the one thing you don't want to be cheap and not spend money on is your own education and your own support, because the money that, as Igor said, the money that you spend on a mentor comes back 100 times.
It's like investing in real estate. I mean, you can see this as a thing you buy, as if it's a car or a house that gets you to spend more money on it. You can't even say that you're paying money. You're investing money in yourself, and you're transforming yourself into a person that can make money multiply many times over. And this is not just, bullshit talk. I'm sorry, excuse me my French, but
Okay.
this is the real deal. This is how the big boys, this is how the gurus, this is how the top real estate guys, like you mentioned Apprentice, which is Donald Trump's project, right? Donald Trump is one of the richest people alive. And he also has a mentor. You gotta remember that. Tony Robbins, who's the greatest NLP fella that heals lives and makes tons of money. Also, he's a marketer, and he also has a mentor. Frank Kern, who's a top-notch internet marketer, who's making boatload of money. Yeah, he also has a mentor, and his name is Dan Kennedy, who's also has a mentor. So, if you want to be successful, not just by accident, you got to find a mentor, because no matter what you're, going through right now, internet marketing is a science. This is really a science. This is no luck. There's no such thing as luck. I don't believe in luck. You gotta find a guy who knows all the principles, like we shared with you today. Like, you got tons of principles. These are tested. These are proven principles that go far and beyond ourselves. We did not invent them. These things they came before us, but we are using them to turn them into money, and this is what we want you to do.
Definitely.
So again, you find a mentor. Really, this is my best advice ever.
Definitely. I mean, I've already said I agree, but definitely. I mean, it's a shortcut to success. It speeds up your success process. Definitely find a mentor. What an amazing interview! I was expecting. I'm so glad that we've done this. I was expecting us to go for maybe an hour, but we've gone for 2. But the information has been absolutely superb. So much content. I can't thank you enough, Igor. What I wanted.
Often.
Yes, great. What I wanted to do was for anyone listening that wants more information. So we've gone through so much on the call, but there's so much more to learn as well. Anyone listening that wants to learn more from you, Igor, they want to maybe approach you about mentorship, and maybe speak to you about your rates or whatever you charge. Is there some contact information that?
Yeah, I can. You can just share my Skype ID. I'm pretty much available on Skype, and I'll give you my email address. Yeah, that would be the best way, I think, because I approach mentoring as a really intimate thing. I believe everyone is different, and although the principles I'm going to be teaching you are pretty much universal, I still believe that I should spend at least 30 minutes to an hour of one-on-one chatting, whether on text or voice, to get to know you, to see whether we can work together, because I'm not an easy person to work with. Um, that's the truth. I kind of go down hard on you. I make you do stuff. I give you homework. I'm kind of rough. Make sure you speak with me before you get your hopes up. Okay, I'm gonna provide information to Phil. But yeah, we forgot, Phil. I think we forgot something. We have a surprise for you.
Oh yeah, sorry, we did. Yeah, I completely
Yeah,
forgot. Sorry, man.
one of the probably hardest things for you, if you don't know what you're doing right now, is to get a squeeze page up and running. And so I have a special website where you can go and you can watch. You can, first of all, I give you a free squeeze page template, and second, I walk you step by step how to set it up. And this is a free kind of gift. Later, if you want, you can buy a product of mine, invest. I'd rather say into a product of mine where I go and show you where to get sold ads, ad swaps. I show you my most sacred thoughts about all this thing, and you get a video step by step, behind my shoulder kind of stuff on how to do this. I'm getting into nitty gritty of everything you need to do to set up a list building funnel. Okay, Phil will send you a link. I'm sure, in the resource box, whatever. But you should really check it out. I'm not saying you should buy my product, but you should at least check out the free videos to see how to set up the squeeze page, how to do this stuff properly. That's really important. That's the foundation.
Definitely, definitely. I mean, it's there's nothing to lose. It's a free gift. Go for it. And the link is on the screen right now. And also, I'll put up a second link as well. Anybody that wants just a bit more information, or that wants to look at one of Igor's courses, I'll put a link up on the screen right now where you can look at that as well. So there's another option for you guys as well, listening as well. So awesome. Okay, but I definitely recommend, if not, you've got so much information, definitely take Igor up on that offer of the free training in how to set up your list building machine. Definitely take him up on that. Well, thanks again, Igor. Loads and loads of information, mate. I mean, I've had a real good fun talking to you as well. I hope everyone listening has enjoyed the fact we haven't taken it too seriously. We've had a bit of fun with it, but they're also not at the expense of all the information. The information's been absolutely solid gold. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Phil. Really, it was a pleasure.
Good man.
A real pleasure.
Okay, well, and also thanks to everyone listening. We hope you've got loads from it. We hope that you will go on to have even more success in your IM lives. And we want you to make money and we want you to succeed. So all the best, you guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for your time. Thanks for your attention. This has been Igor Kheifet and Phil Ainsworth teaching you Igor's fantastic list building strategies. Thanks again, guys. Have a good one. Good luck and bye-bye.
Bye.